This video actually has a bit of a fun backstory. I made a lot of it, and then because some of my footage just got jacked beyond belief somehow, I wasn't super happy with how it came out, and also the original writer of the article that I am discussing basically had a pretty rough week, apparently, in the fallout of that article. And so I was like, all right, well, I don't need to add to the discourse because I'm late. Then she kind of wrote a whole transphobic thing, and also effing Forbes published an article that was like, are we ready to see mixed weight couples in the media? Guys, are we ready? Can we handle mixed weight couples? So anyway, if this dum-dum mentality is that pervasive, then I am going to make the video and think of it less addressing the actual original article and more just the mindset behind it. Because to the people writing these articles that are like, I don't know, you guys, should Nicola Coughlan be allowed on TV? You guys are weird. I don't know. I hope some better stuff starts going on in your lives. Anyway, thanks for bearing with me, dirtbags. Sorry about the quality, sorry about the lateness, but enjoy my thoughts.
I say, my good man, have you read the latest missive from Lady Whistleblower? Why, no. But I am indeed ready for a spot of gossip. Shall we indulge?
Humble viewers, listeners, and readers, Lady Whistleblower would first like to extend her sincerest apologies for her prolonged absence. It was in part because I am only a recent creation of this video essayist's imagination, but also because a recent article I found sent me running to my fainting couch. While scouring the internet for crumbs while waiting for the next round of meager scraps from Netflix, this humble author stumbled across an article that sincerely might have raised my blood pressure. I'm not sure what your humble author expected to find here, but it certainly wasn't a scathing review of the leading actress's body. Here are but a few excerpts. The only physical attributes that work against the only physical attribute that works against universal erotic capital in almost any context is fat. But into that thorny bramble marches this season of Bridgerton, with podgy Penelope as the star, finally attracting the tender gaze of perfect 10 Colin Bridgerton, whom she has long loved and supported from a friendly yearning distance. Penelope's frame is not generally named in the Bridgerton world, but her bookish sexual marginality and apparent destiny to be unloved by Colin forever is clearly its result. Her life on the plump periphery of the svelte and beautiful is also the fuel behind her, spoiler alert, secret identity as the all-powerful gossip scribe. Nicola Coughlan, one of the comic stars of Channel 4's smash hit Dairy Girls, is a lovely person to watch. She has an expressive face, and I always enjoy her trundling about shrubberies and across richly furnished rooms towards the nearest quill, or looking morosely on from the sidelines at grand balls. But reader, she is not hot, and there is no escaping it, as I was reminded recently when she graced Harper's Bazaar cover in a fabulous outfit that still did not hide her not-hotness. Coughlan is an actress of great value and might be adored, but she is simply not plausible as the friend who would catch the handsome rich aristocrat Colin Bridgerton's eye in that way. She's not shapely, which can work as sexy even in Hollywood. She's fat. There's nothing wrong with fat, but a zest for equality and diversity, and in this case good acting, just isn't enough to make a fat girl who wins the prince remotely plausible. In the cruel visual semantics of the screen, poor plump Penelope may be set up to win her man, but will she win her audience? The jury, dear reader, is out. You could be forgiven, dear reader, for assuming that Lady Whistleblower took a break on her Shay Long because of the disgusting fat phobia listed in the article in question. But actually, what sent me reeling from shock was not the fat phobia, which unfortunately your humble author has come to expect from both media and humanity in general. But imagine my shock when I got to the bottom of the article and discovered it had been written by a fellow lady. Well, I simply couldn't let that. While it's always shocking and horrifying to see such value placed on thinness as a commodity of beauty, it's even more disheartening to see our fellow ladies taking it so dearly to heart and then trying to force it upon others, like last season's hat. Now, it's widely understood that physical beauty is sort of a main supporting character in the Bridgerton universe. It does seem to have escaped some viewers' notice that there are no physically unattractive people on this show. You simply have to accept it as some sort of sci-fi. And that hasn't been a problem before. But in truth, Lady Whistleblower is no longer the young woman that she once was. It's entirely possible that she's out of touch with the attitudes of beauty, and indeed the attitudes towards perception of beauty in media. So it's up to you, humble reader. Do you buy Penelope Featherington as hot? And is the lack thereof stopping you from enjoying the season, if not? I fear you must look within your own heart to decide that.
Huh. I hate to start it this way, but this is weird, right? No, it's weird. I'll start it this way. This is weird. It's very strange to spout such obviously personal and deeply held opinions as if they're fact. Thank you. I think that's what's making me crazy about the whole thing is the confident statement of it as fact, as if we haven't decided by now that beauty is a highly subjective thing. Right. One person's cup of tea might not be another's. Heh. I just can't believe that it's 2024 and people are still pretending that it's like an accepted truth that larger people aren't desired or aren't loved or aren't attractive. Right. That's crazy. I mean, ask to see one of your big friends' DMs sometimes. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't ever ask to see someone's dating app DMs. Oh, good point. Retracted. Also, I think it's easy to walk down the street at any given time and see a larger person happily with someone. Sometimes even someone who you think is more attractive than them. Right. So there are real world examples of bigger people being cared for and being desired in a relationship. Oh, here comes Zap. But when we put it on TV, we're suddenly acting like it's science fiction? No. But even if beauty wasn't subjective, it's wild to pretend that that's the only reason to find someone attractive. Penelope is a lot of good things. She's gentle, she's loyal, she's very witty, she's obviously smart and self-sufficient. And honestly, most of the bad stuff that she has done, he doesn't even know about exactly. Honestly, spouting off this red pill stuff is a little bit insulting to Colin and Luke Newton, too. Oh, say more. Well, until this season, people were arguing that Colin wasn't going to be hot enough to get his own love interest, or they weren't looking forward to his season because he wasn't cute. Oh, yeah. They had such a quick turnaround, I almost forgot after he had his Bridgerton makeover. I hope they don't make over Benedict. Well, what would they do to make him more attractive? Let him kiss a man? Oh. Anyway, the point is, the Colin Bridgerton that we met in season 1 was ready to risk his family's reputation to marry a girl that he loved because he thought that she loved him. He is a romantic. Someone with that kind of poetry in his heart that wants some kind of beautiful love story sort of needs someone to match that poetry. Is that like the more wholesome version of matching each other's freak? Sure, CT. The point is, she's been nothing but kind to him. And that's in the face of him knowing her family. Oh, yeah, we haven't even talked about the fact that she straight up grew up in a fairly restrictive to abusive household. Boy, the cat's just really settling in down there. Yeah, hope you're comfortable. I'm not, but thank you. The fact of the matter is, if your good friend suddenly realized and started presenting themselves as how beautiful they are, it is entirely logical to assume that some people would catch feelings off that. And I completely believe that Colin Bridgerton is dumb enough to think that he can have, like, kissing lessons without catching feelings. Yeah, respect how stupid he is. Wow, that's really romantic. And you make a good point about the subjectivity of beauty. That being said, I'd like to get into the meat of why you are objectively wrong. Obviously, Penelope Featherington is hot. Now, she might not be your cup of tea, because we all like different kinds of tea. Sure, but there are some things that are just objectively considered attractive, and she fits the bill. She is symmetrical. She has glowing skin. She is proportional. Oh, talk about the smiling eyes. Ah, I love the shape of her eyes. She always looks like she's smiling. Penelope didn't get a makeover this season. She had a make-under for the earlier 2 seasons. Yeah, why do you think they put her in a fright wig and tube dresses prior to? And listen, you can argue with me. You don't have to find her attractive. But I've got an ace in the hole that proves that she is, even if you don't see it. Penelope is a main character on a Netflix show. I know Bridgerton is challenging societal norms to some extent, but it's not trying that hard. Yeah, what do you think they're actually going to cast an ugly person when they can just make a hot person look slightly less hot for 2 seasons? Come on. Whether we like it or not, we are currently not in an era where we are casting faces for the back of the house. Now, Nicola Coughlan can make those faces. She completely rubberized her entire head around throughout the run of Dairy Girls. And maybe that's the problem. There does seem to be a bit of a dichotomy where people think that you could be funny or hot. Oh, stupid people. Oh, yeah, I meant stupid people. I really don't know who the target audience of this article would be. It honestly seems like red pill type stuff. Yeah, and I do wonder how many people are coming to the defense of this article using some kind of version of, evolutionary desire and posting all of these articles and getting their calipers ready. Yeah, to which I say, take a note from Colin Bridgerton and stand up, King. Yeah, you're not a dormouse. You don't have to select the best mate based on the idea that you can get the most offspring and thus have the greatest chance of survival. That's wild. You can leave an actual impact in the world. We got a little riled up there. Yeah, I think we completely lost track of our English accents. Oh, very generous to say that we were doing English accents. Sorry for saying stupid so much. Yeah, this article just got us a little hotter under the collar than the carriage scene, apparently. What do you say that we take this out to the, what's a rich people thing? Croquet lawn. Ah, yes, quite so. I'll fetch my finest croquet horse. No. Just kidding. Ha 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 ha.
Hey, Zoe. I wanted to take a minute to talk to you personally because there's something in the tone of your article that felt very familiar to me. And I could be reading you all wrong, but because you so confidently spoke on behalf of every person in the world when you said that Nicola Coughlan wasn't attractive, I'm going to speak with some authority on you. Because this article honestly reads like something I would have written when I was 15 and found out that Reese Witherspoon was engaged to Ryan Philippe. And forgive me for assuming this, but the odds are in my favor. I assume that you, much like me, much like anybody watching this video, are not a perfect 10 like Nicola Coughlan, or in your terms, like Luke Newton. You're probably a pretty regular looking person, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm sure that some people look at you and find you extremely attractive, and I'm sure that some people look at you and think, not necessarily for me. But hopefully, none of those people, when they see you existing out in the world, go out of their way to tell you that you aren't their cup of tea. And you need to think about what it's saying to other people that look like you, that look like me, that look like Nicola Coughlan, when you just so confidently state that they are essentially undesirable. It's unkind, it's harmful, it doesn't help anyone, it doesn't challenge anyone's views or standards, it just asserts them as fact and then leaves them there. Words can hurt people, ideas can hurt people, and it's disingenuous at this point in time to pretend otherwise. Ozempic has already made its way out of the circle that it was created for and is now focused mainly on winnowing out the tiny bit of body diversity that Hollywood already had. Why do you think this article would be helping anyone? Zoe, you're a human being. More specifically, you're a femme-presenting human being. So I know that you understand the problems that people might have had with this article, and I'm honestly a little bit surprised that they didn't occur to you before publishing. And I guess maybe that's what I'm asking, is who was this article for? Because it kind of feels more like red pill engagement bait than any desire to actually challenge or discuss any kind of beauty standards. It felt like you were here to enforce beauty standards rather than challenge them in any way. And maybe that was your intent. But if that's the case, I guess just be ready for the standard lens to swing back your direction at some point in time. Do better, guys. I'm so sorry, you're probably very confused about who I was. I'm actually Lady Whistleblower. Don't tell anyone. Drink your water and stay safe.
Penelope didn't get a make. I kicked the table, sorry. It's all right.
While it does seem to be widely accepted that... Hey, Zap, can you get somewhere, buddy? Thank you. I love you. And it'll be so polished. What? I think I'm forgetting... your earbuds. Thank you. You're demoted. There's a cat scratching on a scratch pad. Cicadas are so very loud. Not as loud as the dual yard work. Very true. All right, break legs. Thank you. Now perhaps you think that Lady Blower... Lady Blower, oh gosh.